Okay, welcome back to the Car Boutique's detailing channel. Lots to do today. A full detail on this Maserati Ghibli or Ghibli. Now you saw this quite a few months ago when we did the engine clean, and our intention was to get it back weeks later to do this full detail. Work commitments and all that kind of stuff, but eventually got it back. Okay, so like I said, we are going to be doing a full detail on this one. So it's going to be wash, machine polishing, multi-stage machine polishing with Carl, and a ceramic coating. But to save time on this video, because the main focus we really want to focus on is the Labocosmetica ceramic coating. So we've already done the maintenance wash. So we've used a alkaline citrus pre-wash. We've used a slightly alkaline snow foam. We've used fallout spray. We've used a slightly acidic shampoo. We've of course done tar and glue. We've used the shampoo in the bucket to do a clay using a clay cloth, which was nice and easy. The car wasn't that contaminated from a requirement for clay, etc. Lots and lots of brushwork and all that kind of stuff. So we did that last night when it was nice and cool to avoid any water spots, but we weren't really worried about that because we're going to machine polish them anyway.
Right, so with anything, certainly with ceramic coatings, you want to make sure that the paint is best as possible. So we are going to quickly show you around the car, giving you a quick paint survey, okay? But we have done paint depth gauge check, and we're roughly averaging about 150 microns around our car. There is some story to the car, so there is some panels that we do have some slightly deeper paint or more thicker paint. However, for the rest of the body, it's about 150 microns. Now, with most cars, okay, we've got a lot of swirlage around here, but that will be really easy to get rid of. However, there is some really nasty scratches. Okay, Andy's shown you there. All right, so that's going to take my skills as a seasoned machine polisher, and as Andy says,
what's
the
he
big
like?
guns.
Giving himself toffee, isn't he? Terrible, terrible. Anyway, sorry, Carl.
So we're going to be getting probably a wool pad certainly on the bigger scratches to get rid of those. The rest of it, we'll be looking at the Sfizzer medium pads with the medium compound to bring this paintwork up to the best that we can bring it prior to us putting on our ceramic coating. So as I said previously, this car has a huge amount of swirls. So we probably are, like I said, we're going to start with the medium pad and medium compound, but probably looking at a two-stage polish, finishing off with the fine cut and the fine pad. Okay, so we're all the way down these sides, across the boot, the bonnet, huge amounts of swirls that we're going to tackle. Okay, we've already shown you a really nasty set of scratches on the bonnet, which I'm going to tackle with the wool pads. And then again, there is another nasty set of scratches down this rear quarter here, there and there, that again I'm going to tackle with the wool pad. But we've got an extensive amount of tools, so we've got our Rupes machines, our flex machines, and I'm going to be checking out and testing the interdetailing, the force rotation on this car as well.
He's got a new toy, bless him. Oh, bless him. Okay, so should we do it?
Let's get on with it.
Okay, so that's machine polishing done. How many hours did that take for both of us?
About 6 hours.
About 6 hours. So the normal routine, Carl goes around, does the major scratches while I start sort of doing the titivation stage. Definitely two-stage for this one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a big job.
And how did you get on with the scratch there and the scratch back left?
So
I've not seen anything.
So I'll start with the back left. That's completely gone. That's been removed. The scratches, because it's a big patch of them, I've got rid of about 99% of the scratch, so it is literally little micro scratches that I've left now because I'm worried about going too much into the paint now. So
what did you use? Did you go microfiber on that?
No, I went wool pads. Coarse wool pad to get rid of those scratches, and then obviously buff it up with some other compound.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. So we're really, really happy with the finish. And like you say, you keep going until you're happy of the finish you're ultimately going to be locking in. And we're limited by time, but I think we've got rid of, I'd say probably about 95% of the swirls, probably even more. The deep scratches, like Carl said, have gone as well. So I'm happy now to sort of lock in this sort of level of finish with the ceramic coating. So we're going to reposition the camera and we're going to have a look at the ceramic. Okay, so the ceramic we're going to be using today is sort of a two-part. It's a base coat and then a sort of top coat product from Labocosmetica. Comes absolutely beautifully packaged and it stands out. Sometimes you just get them in a little box. Labocosmetica have really packaged it well, and there's a lot of information here which is really, really useful if you're not conversant with the product. Okay, so inside this lovely tin, you get the two products. So that is the first coat, which is SAM. I'll explain a bit more in a minute. And then the second coat is this one here, HPC. So you get the two bottles. You get your Labocosmetica sort of a logoed block. You get a glove. You get lots and lots of microfibers to go around your block, and you get this lovely, lovely sort of cloth with the Labocosmetica logo on it as well. Okay, so if you're a professional detailer or if you run a detailing business, and this does give you an opportunity for an upsell, because Labocosmetica give you one of these cards. So it clearly articulates the mileage when you had your coating applied. And if you get returning customers coming back for maintenance washes, you can keep an eye and give them updates on their actual protection, how it's performing, and keep an eye on it with reference to the kilometers, which is a really, really good idea. And you get a nice little metallic sticker to place on their car. Now, in terms of the two bottles, now the first one that we're going to be putting down is SAM, and it says 80% chemical, 20% physical. Labocosmetica do other ones. They have 100% physical and 100% chemical, but that is just the relationship as to what's actually in the bottle. So the 20% physical is what's actually bonding to the vehicle, giving it its abrasion, and the 80% chemical in this bottle is going to give you the deep gloss, the UV protection, and it's really, really easy to use. You're going to see us doing a demo in a moment, and you can use that as a standalone product if you wanted to. Now, the reason why they give you the opportunity to sort of buy two bottles as a pack, this is sort of graded to about 15,000 kilometers, I think, Carl. That's what they said in the instructions, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's 15,000 kilometers.
Yeah, which equates to about a year. However, if you use this, okay, as a top coat, it's going to take the longevity of this protection system up to about 60,000 kilometers, which is about 4 years. Yes, I've got my GCSE in maths. The big benefit of this, which is 100% chemical, is it's also going to give you a 3D gloss. It's going to give you enhanced chemical resistance. It's easy to use as well. And both of them together are going to offer excellent chemical resistance. You're basically using this to supercharge this to give you even more protection and even more gloss. So Carl's saying, get on with it. That's enough of the geeky stuff. It's time to play. Okay, the fun part, we're playing with it. So like we said in the introduction, we're going to be using the SAM, which is the base coat first. As with any ceramic coating, especially if it's been lying on the shelf, give it a really good shake. So nice, give it a good shake. Now, okay, so you're going to be using this just like any other ceramic coating. So we're going to be using roughly no more than sort of 50 by 50 centimeters square. And we're going to be applying it using the block and the microfiber or the suede cloth. Comes with your nozzle. Now, I've seen some ceramic coatings, and we were talking about this, Carl, weren't we, that some just come with an open bottle and you're sort of pouring it in, so gives you more control.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say.
Yeah.
The other ones, we did have control issues.
We did.
It, but this should be a lot easier for us.
So use the suede, okay, wrap it around your block. Now, we're going to use this. Me and Carl are fans of the sort of the microfiber blocks for applying ceramic coatings. You've seen us do that before, but we're going to use Labocosmetica's accessories that they've put in, and then we're just putting the line of coating, and it's cross-hatched. Now, don't overwork this. You just go north to south, east to west on this one. All right, so it's nice and easy to spread. It's nice and easy to see on black because it darkens the black so you can see exactly where you're going. So like I said, around about 50 centimeters by 50. That's north to south. Keep an eye on it. Make sure you're getting even coverage. Make sure you're not missing any bits. And sort of take a conscious note of how much you're applying, because you want consistency when you're applying it over your entire car. And that is all you need to do, all right? So don't get into the sort of habit of overworking it or anything like that. Now, in terms of the cure time, it's relative to humidity and temperature. Now, I have looked online and some people say between 2 and 5 minutes, but we've read the instructions and we're looking for that sort of rainbow effect, that difference from going wet to rainbow, and that's what we're going to do. So we're going to wait for this to cure, and then we're going to put the camera back on and tell you the curing time and show you the removal. Okay, camera's back on. 2 minutes, folks, in our temperature. So I don't know, it's 25 outside, normal humidity. We waited, and then suddenly it happened. Carl saw some tiny sort of bubbles, sort of micro bubbles.
Yeah, so micro bubbles. When you look at it and you look at the streaks that are being made by the actual ceramic on there, you can see it within the streaks, little tiny air bubbles. So it's another indication.
Absolutely. And then about 10 seconds afterwards, suddenly we got that rainbow effect.
Exactly.
So you've got to be here. You've got to be watching it when you're doing it. So, and then it's just removal using your microfiber in circular movements. Once you've removed sort of the excess, you don't want to be pressing hard. Get yourself a buffing towel and then just polish to get your gloss. That's weird, Carl. It suddenly just goes super slick. It's like a bit thicky, and then suddenly, boom. Effortless, no high spots. Now, if you've got an inspection light, which we'll do shortly, go over, make sure you don't have any high spots. But like I said, if you do the north to south, east to west, let it cure, look for those sort of micro bubbles and look for that sort of rainbow effect. Remove it, okay, and then buff to a high cloth, okay, a high gloss, sorry. You'll get the finish that we've got, and I really do like that. So, time to coat the car.
Yep.
Good times. Okay, so that's the SAM applied. Thoughts? Well, how long did it take us? Hour and a half?
Hour and a half, nearly 2 hours.
Yeah, not the quickest, because it's not the sort of ceramic coating you can just go round the whole car. You are doing a panel, waiting for it to flash, and then removing it. So you've got to sort of do it sort of panel by panel.
Yeah,
really.
yeah. So it's like you said, 50 centimetre by 50 centimetre at a time. When you're doing it that way, it takes time. So that's why it's taken us down half 2 hours to do.
We can come to the conclusion this is a bit of an adult ceramic coating. It's not, you know, a beginner could use it, but I've been doing ceramics for years and years and years. Carl's done probably about 10 in the last 6 months, so he's not novice. And we honed our skill in terms of the time before we buffed it off, wasn't it? Because we initially found it after a minute or two grabby. We were waiting for the rainbow effect, and then it was grabby then. But if we went for, as soon as those sort of micro bubbles started or removed it, it seemed to be easier. So that was just our experience. Is that
and it was, it's weird to explain, but it was, as you were buffing it off, there was a thickness to it. That's the only way I can describe it, is there was a thickness as you was rubbing it off.
That gave us confidence though, because if you apply ceramic coating, it's just like water. You do start questioning how effective or what the longevity is going to be.
Exactly.
So, but we started to enjoy ourselves with this, didn't we? You see the magic happen in front of you, don't you?
It was a grower.
It was. When you take that you know, the plush one, it's just like, yes, that's why we do this. And I don't usually enjoy ceramics. I'm a waxman, as you know. Okay, so on to stage 2. So that's taken us about an hour and a half. We're going to go straight on, and you can go straight on to applying the coat of HPC. We're not going to do a demo. It's exactly the same as when we applied this one. So we're going to be doing exactly the same format, exactly the same cure times, waiting for the bubbles, maybe the rainbow. We don't know because we haven't tried it yet. Okay, but we'll get back to you on that as well. And then that's this double coated. I don't know if you can see it so far. It is looking superb. The gloss enhancement from this is noticeable. The slickness, it's almost like I say this quite a lot, Tom, it's almost like a three-dimensional look to the paint. There's definitely a saturation of that jetting effect that you get with some waxes. So
for me, this was, for me, I was saying to Annie earlier, the gloss deepened. It was the fleck really came out, it deepened, so I'm intrigued to see what else we can get when we add this HPC, so should be interested.
I enjoy this because I like the warmth, the depth of sort of colour from a wax. That's why I'm a wax man, and I was getting whiffs of that kind of sort of phenomenon with this, which is unusual. Usually with ceramic you get this crystal clinically clear, you know, optically very, very good, but it doesn't sort of give that warmth. But there's definitely a depth of colour and an improvement on gloss. So we are really interested to see about this one, because apparently this gives us three-dimensional gloss.
I'll be interested to see what that's like.
Absolutely, so let's crack on. Okay, so that's the second coat finished. Now we left it 36 hours and we've come back. Okay, so not really much to say about applying the second coat. It was exactly the same as the first coat, same curing time. Thoughts on that one?
For me, yeah, exactly the same process as the first one. However, as we applied it, I did see an increase in the sort of the fleck on the metallic paint, and it for me, during that process, the metallic paint really popped.
Yeah, we were chatting about the best way to describe it. It's almost like an optical enhancer. It's sort of, it seemed to give us the impression that it was sort of clarifying sort of the optics. Okay, you could really see that fleck that we didn't notice as much with the first coat, did we?
No.
Okay, so really, really good. So that's all we're going to say on the second coat. Really, really enjoyable. We are going to be taking it out shortly, but now we've left it 36 hours, we can do the hydrophobicity test. I stumbled on it, that one. He'll tell me off afterwards. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, so we can do the hydrophobicity check now. Now, after you've applied the second coating, they do advise you're not getting it wet, minimum of 24 hours, ideally 36 hours. So we're 36 hours, so we're quite confident we can do the hydrophobicity test without damaging the coating. So I'm looking forward to this.
I want to see how this behaves. Absolutely,
because we've got high expectations. We've done some cracking waxes, and indeed we've done some sort of entry-level ceramics that have given us good results. So let's chat, let's play. Okie dokie. I will be taking some photographs with my phone as well. If you just go, it wants to come off. If you just go a bit higher. Okay, I'm now going to zoom in with my phone, but it's hard to get beads because they want to disappear. So
I'm having to spray a lot slower to get the beads.
Exactly. Okay, so we've shown you some photographs. Really struggled getting the beads because as soon as they start to get slightly enlarged, they just run off, didn't they, Carl?
It was unreal. It was really was amazing to watch. So we're now on to see how well it sheets.
I mean, if you just come in here, you can see where we were trying to get the beads and it was just going. So I'm suggesting that this is got real good sheeting quality. So I'll do this bit here and see how we get on. So. And this is how you dry a car using water, because if Carl just goes along this entire panel, that is bone dry. That's where I started, and all the water's gone. So the sheeting qualities of this are probably one of the best I've seen. Then it's not a beader per se. It does bead, the small beads, but what I like about this one is, as soon as there's any weight to those beads, they just go, okay? And that's what you want. You want self-cleaning properties, because within the waters, the dirt, if they're left on the car, the water evaporates, leads all the calcium, that's where you get water spots. So really, from a sort of an enhancement of the aesthetics of the car, you want a sheeter, wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, so that is fantastic. Okay, the summary. We're not going to kick the arse out of this, because I think we've done enough sort of visual storytelling to communicate how we feel about this. But who's going to go first? We always have a spin-off.
I think it's my turn.
Okay, go for it.
Right, so from my perspective, I've done quite a few ceramic coatings now. It took us a few panels to get into this ceramic coating from an enjoyment and understanding it. But once we understood it, that's where the enjoyment came in for this one. The first coating, it certainly gave us, as we said, a depth of sort of gloss or colour to our car. And as we had applied the second coating, we also said that we actually started to see this metallic fleck of this paintwork really start to start. And I am thoroughly impressed by it. You know, the hydrophobics, the colour, everything else like that, absolutely tip-top coating for me.
We briefly mentioned this. Would you recommend someone who's never used a ceramic coat before to use it?
No. And there's several reasons why. One, it's a two-stage coat. So that brings in its own little nuances. Secondly, it's a professional use and indoor use only ceramics.
100% indoors. Yeah.
Where we normally talk to you guys, the enthusiasts that are normally doing this outside, this one is not. If you've got a garage and you're confident with what you can do, crack on, because that is an awesome product. Yeah. But for those new to it, those that can only do it outside, unfortunately, it's not for them. Yeah,
absolutely. I think if you're a new, someone who's never done ceramic coating, you probably could do it. This sounds arrogant if you watched our video, because we've sort of tried to communicate, looking for that when it's sort of, you know, when it's ready to come off. But it's certainly not one of these you can go around and do it in a one. You are doing 50 by 50. You're waiting for those micro bubbles. There's a slight bit of rainbowing, and then taking it off and then buffing it. So you're doing it sequentially. Other reasons why it may not be for people sort of, you know, who use ceramic coatings. 100% agree with you. It's got to be done indoors. You don't want dust on this. Bearing in mind you're putting 2 coatings on it. Bearing in mind you've got to leave this for a minimum of 24 hours, ideally 36 hours before it gets wet. And then afterwards, for additional information, you're not washing it between minimum 7 days and ideally 10 days. Okay, so there is an aftercare piece. Now, before I give my opinion, before I forget, there is an aftercare sort of part to this, and this is where I'm really impressed with Labocosmetica. They don't just put out rough instructions, they give you the full package. And there is a maintenance sort of sequence after application. So what you use on your first wash, second wash, third wash and fourth wash, in terms of the maintenance washes, it talks about how to enhance the protection, how to unclog it, so you get the maximum performance of the coating, excuse me, and all that kind of stuff. And that's what we think this would be a great sort of upsell for a business. If they got a client to have this coating, they've got the little card, they can put the sticker on, and they can come back for that nurturing, that you know, over 3 or 4 washes, they're getting dedicated stuff to enhance the protection, enhance the longevity, unclog it, so you're getting maximum performance, which ideally is what we want to see. We want to see some visual indicators of when it rains and stuff, don't we?
Exactly. You want that protection to last as long as it can do, and that's by following either by Labo's set procedure,
Yeah.
you're going to get the longevity of this product then.
Absolutely. So, my opinion, first impressions, great packaging, pretty easy to use. The first coat, effortless, see a bit of pop. Totally agree with you. There's something different with that second part. I'm not sure if it's different itself or the two work together, but definitely enhances the sort of the optics of your paint. That fleck suddenly came through, which is good. I don't usually like applying ceramic coatings, but I got a degree of enjoyment out of this. Like I said, I'm a wax person, so I like that warmth, that buffing off. And this gave me a bit of it because I could see the enhancement of gloss, okay,
Yeah.
which is what I like. I want to enjoy the process, see visually visual gains rather than just put something on, all right? So in terms of ceramic coatings, I've used quite a few. This is up there with the best of them. Price point's £100, which I think for a two-coat system, which, you know, suggesting sort of 3-4 years, going on their 60K piece, which I like that. I like
Yeah.
that. But like, there's loads of variables in terms of longevity. We'll keep an eye on the vehicle as well. And I really, really like it. I've got nothing really bad to say about any of the Labo products we've used so far, have we?
No, I can't find a bad, to be fair, I can't think of a bad product that we've used yet.
Absolutely. So I bought this from Into Detailing. Okay, if you do want to buy this, I'll leave a link in the video description, and do not forget to use the discount code TCB10 at the checkouts. You'll get a few pennies, which is always nice to save money.
Always nice to save money.
The only thing we've got to do then is take the car outside. It's getting a bit sort of dusky, but we should be able to pick up the fruits of our labour, and I think you're going to be impressed with this.
Yeah.
Because when we drove it out earlier, let's face it, you can pat each other on the back.
Exactly.
We've worked hard, we've done machine polishing, all the good stuff, put a great ceramic coating on this. The owner's going to be really, really happy, so let's take it outside and have a look. So from Carl, it's a goodbye.
Goodbye.
And from Andy, it's a goodbye. Goodbye. Nice.
You cooked that up.